The quiet streets of Victoria Street in Johannesburg became the backdrop for a crime so audacious, it seemed ripped from a Hollywood script. An FNB branch located in the Golden Walk shopping center was targeted by a group of highly sophisticated robbers. The discovery of this meticulously planned heist sent shockwaves through the community and the banking sector. Security personnel, arriving for their shift on the morning of Tuesday, April 22, 2025, were the first to uncover the scene. The bank had been closed since Saturday, April 19, 2025, observing the public holidays, providing the culprits with an extended window of opportunity to execute their elaborate plan without immediate detection. This period of inactivity proved crucial for the criminals. The initial reports painted a picture of a professional operation far removed from a common smash and grab. The sheer audacity and precision involved immediately captured public attention. News of the break-in spread rapidly, with early details suggesting a level of planning rarely seen. Law enforcement officials were quick to arrive on the scene, cordoning off the area as forensic teams began the painstaking process of gathering evidence. The air was thick with questions. Who were these criminals, and how had they managed to bypass what was believed to be a secure banking facility? The silence of the long weekend had been broken by a crime that would dominate headlines. The method employed by the suspects was particularly brazen, indicating a deep understanding of the bank's layout and, potentially, its security vulnerabilities. Instead of a frontal assault, the robbers chose a more covert and labor-intensive approach. This choice highlighted their patience and determination, suggesting a team that was well-resourced and highly organized. The scale of the operation hinted at weeks, if not months, of careful surveillance and preparation. The criminals had clearly done their homework, identifying weaknesses and exploiting them with chilling efficiency, leaving investigators to piece together the complex puzzle of their entry and escape. As more details emerged, the comparison to a blockbuster movie became increasingly apparent. The crime wasn't just about the money, it was about the execution, the planning, and the sheer nerve. This wasn't the work of amateurs. The sophistication suggested a syndicate with experience in high-stakes robberies. The FNB heist was quickly becoming a benchmark for criminal ingenuity, a stark reminder that even fortified institutions could be vulnerable to determined adversaries. The community waited, holding its breath, as the police began their investigation into this extraordinary breach of security, a breach that had occurred right under their noses. The most astonishing aspect of this daring heist was the method of entry. The suspects did not force their way through the main doors or windows of the FNB. Instead, they executed a plan that required significant engineering and effort. They gained access by tunneling from an adjacent Nedbank building into the FNB premises. This subterranean passage allowed them to bypass the most visible layers of security, working undetected beneath the ground. The creation of such a tunnel would have required considerable time, specialized knowledge, and a way to dispose of the excavated earth without raising suspicion, a testament to their meticulous planning. Once inside the FNB, the robbers were not deterred by the physical barriers protecting the bank's assets. They came equipped with heavy-duty tools, specifically grinders. These powerful instruments were used to force open 2 substantial cash boxes, and more significantly, 2 large safes. The use of grinders indicates a noisy and time-consuming process, further underscoring the advantage gained by operating over the long holiday weekend when the bank was deserted. The sparks would have flown, and the sound would have been considerable, yet they operated with the confidence that they would not be disturbed during their illicit activities. The precision involved in both the tunneling and the subsequent breaching of the safes points towards a team familiar with construction or demolition techniques. Navigating underground to a precise point within the FNB vault area, and then systematically dismantling reinforced steel containers, is no small feat. It speaks to a level of expertise that goes beyond simple thuggery. The robbers knew exactly where to dig, and exactly what tools would be needed to overcome the bank's internal defenses. This calculated approach minimized their exposure and maximized their chances of success, turning the bank's own structure against itself. The choice of an adjacent operational bank, Nedbank, as their staging ground for the tunnel, adds another layer of audacity to the crime. It implies that the suspects may have had access to or were able to secure the Nedbank premises for a sufficient period to begin their excavation. This raises further questions about potential insider knowledge or vulnerabilities in the security of the neighboring building. The tunnel itself is now a key piece of evidence, a silent monument to the robbers' determination and their intricate, well-thought-out plan to plunder the FNB branch undetected from below. A critical component of the heist's success was the systematic neutralization of the FNB's security infrastructure. The robbers demonstrated a disturbing familiarity with modern alarm systems and surveillance technology. Upon gaining entry, they meticulously set about disabling these protective measures. Alarm systems designed to alert authorities to any unauthorized breach were found to be damaged. This act of sabotage ensured that no silent or audible warnings were triggered during their prolonged operation within the bank, effectively isolating the branch from any external monitoring during the critical hours of the robbery. Furthermore, the culprits specifically targeted the bank's visual surveillance capabilities. Movement cameras, strategically placed to detect and record any activity within sensitive areas, were physically removed by the intruders. This bold move indicates that the robbers were not content with merely avoiding detection. They actively sought to eliminate any record of their presence. The removal of these cameras suggests they knew their locations and how to dismantle them without triggering secondary alarms, pointing again to careful reconnaissance or insider information. The darkness they created was both literal and figurative, erasing their actions from the electronic eyes of the bank. In addition to the movement cameras, the primary CCTV systems were also deactivated. This comprehensive approach to disabling surveillance meant that investigators would be deprived of crucial video evidence of the robbers' identities, their movements within the bank, and the exact timeline of the heist. Deactivating CCTV often requires technical knowledge of the system's wiring and recording units. This level of technical proficiency suggests that the team included individuals with specialized skills, capable of systematically blinding the bank's security network, ensuring their actions remained unseen and unrecorded. The combined effect of these actions, damaging alarms, removing movement cameras, and deactivating CCTV, created a secure operational bubble for the criminals. They could work unhindered, using their noisy grinders to access the safes and cash boxes, confident that no electronic alerts were being dispatched and no visual records were being made. This comprehensive dismantling of the security apparatus was not a haphazard act of vandalism, but a calculated and essential phase of their operation. The extent of the security breach highlighted a significant vulnerability, prompting an urgent review of security protocols across the banking industry. The thieves were not just robbing a bank, they were outsmarting its defenses. Following the discovery of the audacious robbery, Gauteng police, under the guidance of spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Mavela Masando, swiftly confirmed the incident and announced the launch of a province-wide manhunt for the elusive suspects. The police are now faced with the challenging task of piecing together the complex events that transpired over the long weekend. Their investigation is focused on understanding exactly how the robbers gained access, the specific methods used to bypass and disable sophisticated security systems, and crucially, the identities of those involved in this high-stakes crime. Authorities have urged anyone with information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, to come forward and assist. The public and media reaction to the FNB heist has been one of widespread astonishment and intrigue. The sheer audacity and meticulous planning involved have led many, including crime activist Yusuf Abramji, who reported the incident on social media platform X, to liken the robbery to a Hollywood blockbuster. Radio stations, such as Jacaranda FM on their Breakfast with Martin Bester show, extensively covered the unfolding story, captivated by the daring nature of the criminals. The narrative of a seemingly impenetrable bank being breached by such elaborate means has captured the public imagination, turning the crime into a major talking point across the nation. Adding a peculiar twist to the public discourse, social media platforms became abuzz with speculation, some of it linking unrelated events to the heist. A TikTok user, operating under the handle at mpsholo_95ks, went viral around the same time for conspicuously flaunting large sums of cash in his videos. While there is no confirmed link, users on various platforms jokingly, and sometimes seriously, speculated that he might be connected to the FNB robbery. Mpsholo's profile, which suggests he is a taxi driver or owner, only fueled the online chatter, with many condemning his public display of wealth regardless of its origin. This social media frenzy reached a point where unconfirmed reports, such as one by MDN News, claimed that Mpsholo had been arrested in connection with his cash displays. though law enforcement has not corroborated these claims. This side story highlights the public's hunger for information and the tendency for online communities to draw their own conclusions, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. Meanwhile, the serious police investigation continues, with detectives meticulously sifting through evidence from the FNB and the adjacent Ned Bank, hoping to find the crucial leads that will bring the perpetrators of this extraordinary heist to justice and recover the undisclosed millions. That's all we have for this episode. Stay safe. God bless. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us grow our channel.